This is not self-help. This is healing. Body, nervous system, wholeness. Energy medicine, Ayurveda-inspired living, herbal wisdom. Learn, heal, and be together. Wholeness isn't fixing, it's integrating. Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. Understanding begins here. Healing happens here. Wholeness lives within you. Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is month 3, week 1, and we are talking about the C in our Become framework, which is connection. Our weekly theme is relearning safe connection, starting with self. Connection is not just about relationships with other people. It's about relationships with yourself, your body, your emotions, your needs, your voice, and your capacity to feel safe enough to be present in life. For many people, connection has been confused with pleasing, overgiving, staying quiet, being needed, being useful, and abandoning self to keep peace. So this week is not about telling people to just get connected more. It is about helping people understand why connection can feel difficult, why disconnection can feel familiar, how healing allows connection to become safer, and how reconnection begins within. Today is Monday, the first day of the first week of month 3's healing circle. What is connection really? Again, welcome. Welcome to a brand new month in our Become healing journey. We are entering the C in Become, as I said, and the C stands for connection. Connection is one of those words people use all the time, but many of us have never really slowed down enough to ask, what does connection actually mean? What does it feel like? What has it meant in my life? And what if what I learned as connection was actually survival? This, my friends, is where we begin tonight. This week is about relearning safe connection. Not forced, not fake, not high performance, not smile and pretend types of connection. We are talking about real connection, the kind that lets you stay present, the kind that lets you stay honest, the kind that does not require you to disappear in order to belong. So tonight I want to start simple, not with pressure, not with analysis, but with truth. A lot of us have not been disconnected because we are cold, difficult, or broken. A lot of us have been disconnected because disconnection became protection. And when you understand that, you stop judging yourself so harshly. Connection often is understood. Many people think connection means closeness at all costs, always being available, being needed by others, making people happy, blending in, staying agreeable, proving love through self-sacrifice. But this is not healthy connection. This is often survival-based relating. Real connection is something deeper. Connection is being present with yourself, being able to feel what is true, being able to stay grounded in relationship, being seen without shrinking, being honest without fear, being close without losing yourself. That means connection begins long before another person enters the room. It begins with whether you are connected to you. Can you hear yourself? Can you feel yourself? Can you notice your needs? Can you remain present when emotion rises? Can you stay with yourself instead of abandoning yourself? This is why we are beginning month 3 here, because many people are trying to build connection outwardly while they remain disconnected inwardly. And if you are disconnected from yourself, even loving relationships can feel unsafe, confusing, draining, or hard to trust. Tonight's truth is this: connection is not just being with others, connection is being with yourself in the presence of life. That, my friends, is the beginning of healing. Now let's get right into this with our learning points. Learning point number 1: connection starts within, not with others. One of the most important shifts we can make is realizing that connection is not something that begins out there. It begins inside, in here. Before you can feel safe with another person, you have to begin building a safe relationship with your own inner world. That means noticing what you feel, noticing what you need, noticing when you shut down, noticing when you override yourself, and noticing when you shapeshift to keep connection. Some people have spent so much of their life focused on how others feel that they no longer know what they themselves feel. That is disconnection from self, and it often happens gradually. As it happens, you learn to stay quiet, minimize your needs, anticipate everyone else, perform strength, avoid vulnerability, and keep moving so you do not have to feel. So when we say connection starts within, what we mean is healing begins when you become willing to turn toward yourself again, not with criticism, but with compassion. Learning point number 2: a lot of people did not learn that connection meant I get to be fully myself. They learned I am loved when I am good, I am accepted when I'm helpful, I am safe when I stay quiet, I belong when I do not cause problems, and I am valuable when I carry everyone else. That means connection got tied to performance. So instead of asking, can I be real here? You learn to ask, what version of me is safest here? That, my friends, is exhausting. And over time, it creates a painful split: the outer self that functions and the inner self that goes unseen. This is why some people can be surrounded by others and still feel deeply alone, because being around people is not the same thing as being connected. If you must perform to stay loved, you may be included, but you are not deeply met. Healing asks, what if connection did not require performance? What if belonging did not require self-abandonment? Learning point number 3: disconnection can feel normal when it has been your protection. This is important, my friends. Many people do not even realize they are disconnected because disconnection has become normal. Disconnection can look like numbness, overbusyness, chronic productivity, emotional flatness, difficulty receiving, trouble trusting, feeling distant from your own body, feeling lonely but also pulling away. Sometimes people will say, I do not know what I feel. I do not know what I need. I do not know why closeness feels hard. I just want to be left alone. That does not always mean that they don't care. Often it means their system learned that connection came with pain, pressure, unpredictability, or disappointment. So the system does what it was designed to do: protect. And one way it protects is through disconnection. When you understand this, your healing becomes gentler, because instead of saying, what is wrong with me, you start asking, what happened that made disconnection feel safer than connection? That question changes everything, my friends. Learning point number 4: the body decides what feels safe enough to connect. Connection is not just an idea, it is a physiological experience. You can tell yourself this relationship is safe, this person is kind, I should trust this, and still feel tense, guarded, distant, or flooded. Why? Because the body has memory. The nervous system is constantly asking, am I safe here? Can I soften here? Do I need to protect myself? Will closeness cost me something? That means connection is not built through logic alone. It is built through repeated experiences of safety. That is why trust cannot be forced. That is why closeness cannot be demanded. That is why healing takes time. The body must learn little by little. I can stay present here. I do not have to disappear here. I can be myself here. I can feel without collapsing. I can receive without fear. That is connection becoming embodied. Learning point number 5. Connection is something we can relearn. This is the hope in tonight's teaching. If you learned survival connection, you can learn safe connection. If you learn to perform, you can learn to be present. If you learned to disconnect, you can learn to return. If you learned to abandon yourself, you can learn to stay with yourself. Healing does not erase your past, but it can change your relationship with connection. You can learn to recognize when you leave yourself, to pause before overgiving, to notice when you are performing, to become more honest about your needs, to build relationships that allow your full presence, and to create inner conditions where connection feels less threatening. This is not overnight work. It is sacred work, and it starts with awareness. Here are some real life examples of how this might look. So here are some ways this shows up in everyday life. You are with people, laughing and talking, but inwardly you feel far away. That is not failure. That may be disconnection. Another example. You answer, I'm fine, automatically, even when you are not. That may be a learned form of self-protection. Another one, you are the one everyone leans on, but you rarely let anyone truly see you. That may be performance-based protection or performance-based connection. Another example, you crave closeness, but when someone gets too close, you pull back. That may mean your system associates connection with vulnerability that once felt unsafe. And the last example, you keep yourself busy all the time and do not stop long enough to feel. That may be disconnection disguised as productivity. These patterns are not here to shame you. They are here to be understood. Now let's look at this from the perspective of our power of 3. From an energy medicine perspective, connection is deeply related to flow. When we feel safe, supported, and present, energy moves more openly. We feel warmer, softer, more available, more grounded in ourselves. When we are disconnected, energy often becomes constricted. We may feel closed off, fatigued, emotionally armored, or scattered. Connection is not just emotional, it's energetic. You can often sense when someone is present and open, and you can also sense when they are withdrawn or guarded. Healing asks, where is my energy closed in order to protect me? And what helps it soften again? From an Ayurveda perspective, connection can be deeply affected by an imbalance. So when we talk about our Ayurvedic body types, everybody has a dominant body type usually, or they're equal in 2 or more of the 3 body types. But nevertheless, you can be imbalanced within your system and your body type. So for example, when Vata is aggravated, a person may feel ungrounded, anxious, overstimulated, scattered, emotionally distant, unable to settle into closeness. And remember, we have all 3 body types within us. we just tend to be dominant in one, or some people are equal in two or more. But anyways, the knowing your body type is extremely important. This can make this, all of this, imbalance. If you're imbalanced in your body type, this can make connection harder because the system does not feel steady enough to remain present. When healing brings more grounding, warmth, routine, and steadiness, connection often becomes easier because the body no longer feels like it is floating in instability. Connection needs inner steadiness. And the only way that you can achieve inner steadiness is if you have a balanced dosha or body type. Let's look at it from herbal wisdom. Herbal wisdom reminds us that the body often needs support in order to soften. Nervine herbs and calming plant allies can support relaxation, emotional ease, nervous system steadiness, better rest, and a softer internal state. And when the body softens, the heart often becomes more available. This is one reason why I integrate plants, ritual, and intentional support into healing, because healing is not just mental work. Sometimes the body needs help receiving safety. And that leads me to my essential oil spotlight, which I'm starting to add in from tonight. So let me share my screen with you so that I can share the essential oil spotlight with you. We are going to talk about lavender, soft and sweet. Tonight's essential oil spotlight is lavender. It is one of my favorites. Lavender is one of the most loved oils for a reason. The benefits of lavender: it supports calm, helps ease tension, promotes emotional soothing, encourages relaxation, supports rest and settling, and helps create an atmosphere of softness and safety. Lavender connects beautifully to tonight's teaching because tonight is about understanding that connection begins when the system feels safe enough to soften. When a person is tense, guarded, overstimulated, or emotionally overloaded, true connection can feel hard. Lavender can support the body in shifting out of that heightened state and into a more settled experience. This is why lavender fits so well with the topic of connection, because connection is not just about wanting closeness, it is about whether your body can receive it. Lavender reminds us that softness is not weakness. Softness is often the doorway to connection. And if you look at lavender essential oil, if you go do your research, some of the primary benefits are: it offers a soothing aroma, it promotes mental relaxation and support restful sleep when taken internally, it calms occasional discomfort, and also in aromatherapy, it really is really soothing and helps me to sleep. So there you go. Lavender essential oil is one of my favorites. Whoops. Let me stop sharing. Okay, bear with me, guys. There we go. Now we're back. Okay, so know that I will post a link in the description where you can get lavender if you want it, and how you can get it. But lavender is beautiful. I love it. It's one of my favorites. Now let's talk about our functional support spotlight, since we are talking about connection. And let me go back to sharing my screen, and I have something to show you. Let's talk about functional support. This is our functional support spotlight: Agara Cafe and Matcha Agara. These are functional coffee is Agara Cafe, and Matcha Agara is a functional tea, a functional matcha tea. Tonight, I also want to connect this teaching to Agara Cafe and Matcha Agara. Both are part of my supportive daily ritual, and they should be a part of everybody's, in my opinion, professionally, unless you have a medical reason or take medications and the doctor says you cannot. Why this connects to this topic. Connection, my friends, requires presence, and presence can be difficult when you are foggy, depleted, overstimulated, emotionally scattered, or mentally all over the place. Agara Cafe and Matcha Gara fit into this conversation because they can support clear thinking, more steady energy, more intentional presence, a calm focus, a gentle sense of support for daily function. This matters because healing is lived in real life. It is hard to be present for yourself, for your body, and for your relationships, or for your healing journey when you feel mentally and physically off all the time. Safe connection requires presence, and presence often needs support. Agara Cafe may be the support some people use in the morning for grounded energy and focus. Matcha Agara may be a beautiful option for those who want that same functional support in tea form. Both can become part of a ritual of returning to yourself. And I use this, as I said, daily. It's one of the best things I have entered into my daily rituals. Once again, the links and everything are in the description and will be in the first comment. Now let's go back. Let's see. Let's go back here for a moment. Okay, now, my friends, thank you so much. This is the first time I use the screen share in this format. So thank you for being patient with me. Now our reflection questions. If you have not started journaling, please start journaling. Start journaling and reflecting. That gets you deep inside. So your questions. Number one, what did connection look like in my early life? Number two, did I learn that connection was safe, conditional, or unpredictable? Number three, when do I feel most disconnected from myself? Number four, what parts of me come forward in order to stay accepted? Number five, do I tend to perform connection rather than experience it? And I'm going to throw another one in there, number 6 tonight. What helps me feel safe, softer, safer, and more present? Tonight, my friends, was not about fixing anything. It was about naming something important. Connection is not just about being around people. It is about being present enough to stay with yourself and safe enough to remain real in relationship. This is sacred work, and many of us are only beginning to learn it now. So let tonight be gentle. Just notice where do I feel connected? Where do I feel disconnected? And where have I learned to perform instead of be? Awareness is a beautiful beginning. Before we close, I want to share a few ways to keep going, that you can keep going deeper with this work. Our healing circle on Patreon. If this work speaks to you and you want a deeper place to land, come join us inside the healing circle on Patreon. It's only $7.99 a month. This is where we go deeper with teachings, reflection, support, and ongoing healing work in a more rooted community. Visit Evolve Global Healing's boutique. You can also explore Evolve Global 22's Healing Boutique, where I shared curated healing supports, including products and tools that connect to the work we are doing in real life. Just go to Evolve Global 22's website. The link is here, of course, and in the first comment. And then, my friends, something that is brand new that I added to the website: explore aligned income opportunities. And if you are in a season where you are looking not only for healing support, but also for a path toward aligned income, you can also explore that with me. That is for those who feel drawn to wellness, lifestyle, and building in a way that aligns with healing and purpose. And on that note, my friends, you have a great night ahead. Peace, love, and light always. Remember, healing lives here, Wholeness lives within you, and I will see you in the